right, so welcome back, everybody, to RWBY Ice Queendom, where we have a rotating cast this time around.
Yeah, I had guests over last week, and I had to play host.
And Fatman's moving this week.
I'm in Weldon Spring. I'm in Yevley. I'm in the abandoned city of Pripyat.
I'm inside one of the Inchin-down oil tanks.
I'm off to the Arctic for 3 weeks. I am not inside a fusion reactor.
In fact, I had a very lovely, we actually had lunch together because he was stopping by Cincinnati on his way.
Yeah.
So that was very much fun. So in the last episode, we actually got into the main plot as envisioned by, again, RWBY, and I want to make a few corrections. Last week, I made sure I put it in the video, but I also want to make it here. I said that it was someone else's idea to put the recap episodes, when it turns out it was RWBY's idea to make the recap episodes, as well as episodes, the 8 episodes he had intended.
Okay.
So I just wanted to correct that. That's at least what I could skim from that Japanese article. That's the biggest correction. There were some smaller ones that I made down in the comments, like the fact that Weiss had in fact visited a dust shop, in particular Dust Till Dawn, and that's why the inside looked correct. I can't think of too much. Our biggest commentary last week was that the episode itself was fine, but that basically everything before it made it sit on weak foundation, and in itself sitting inside of RWBY made it even weaker. So what are your thoughts on the last episode?
So I actually just binged through it today in preparation. Initial thoughts: loved Weiss's outfit. Thought it was really cool. I think I prefer Whitley more as a bat than I do as a human, because his bat design is actually kind of cool. And the fight song was sick. It's a bit of a jarring juxtaposition going from the end of episode 3, which is, the warehouse, to, and, setting up Weiss, to suddenly RWBY is now in Weiss's dream already, without that, them discovering, Weiss has been infected, and then getting that whole thing set up. We're just kind of thrown right into the action this time around, and I felt, for me, it was just a little jarring, because I like to have those little connecting bridges to plot points, but I guess they just wanted to dive right in. I guess we didn't really need the explanation of what was going on, because we did the whole thing with Juniper, so it wasn't necessary. It was just a little jarring.
Yeah, I'm curious now. How much experience do you have with Gun RWBY's other work?
So he refresh my
Madoka
memory.
Magica, Psycho-Pass.
Okay. I've watched a bit of Madoka, and I have not watched Psycho-Pass. I know what Psycho-Pass is.
Fate Zero, not particularly the best.
I watched Unlimited Blade Works. I thought that was pretty good.
He is specifically just Fate Zero.
Then never mind.
Yeah, it's actually really weird, because they a lot of people will credit him for the anime, but he had very little to do with the anime, by my understanding. He wrote the novelized version of Fate Zero that got adapted into the anime.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's how I understand it. So a lot of people are like, it's Gen Urobuchi's work, and I'm like, it's Gen Urobuchi's work through the lens of a different writer, which is actually what's interesting about Ice Queendom is Gen was the idea guy for this anime, but it's being written by Ubokawa. I don't remember his last name, or his surname, I should say. But he was also the guy that did Psycho-Pass Season 2, which, if you know that reputation...
I do not.
Psycho-Pass Season 2 is looked down... people hate it, but it's just kind of weaker than Season 1. Yeah. It has a lot more problems and the like.
Yeah, so I guess the only thing I have is Madoka. So my Madoka story, unfortunately, isn't that great. So how it was going to go is me and my Digicast partners, Andy and Chris... We were originally going to do a bit of a reactionary thing, almost in podcast form, where I was watching through the episodes. And this was New Year's, 5-6 years ago, something like that. We got to the end of episode 3, which episode 3 being the big game changer episode.
Yes.
And there is a unfortunately, the project never got off the ground, so there is a live recording of my reaction to episode 3 floating around that unfortunately just never saw the light of day.
If you ever get around to it, finishing up that series, it's excellent.
Oh, I imagine I will at some point, because it's such a critically acclaimed show.
Yeah. All right, well, with all of that out of the way, let's hop into this episode and see what this is all about, shall we?
Alrighty, let's do it.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay.
All right,
Going
yeah,
right to the opening. The opening I thought was fine.
I wish it wasn't just images from the show. The song's fine.
Yeah, the song's fine. Better than the ending. Which I still feel so bad for the RWBY's voice actress. She just cannot sing that song. I feel so bad for her.
I mean, Sayori Hayami is an incredibly talented.
Oh, yeah, she's
voice
incredibly
actress.
talented. It's the range. Someone did not write that song for her.
Gotcha.
Is where I have the most concern. It's like she can't hit the high notes. But yeah, so people pointed out that this is the same artist that did the opening for Princess Principal.
Oh.
Which is one of my favorite openings of all time. The same performers. And I recognize them now that they pointed that out. It's the same kind of English that I really like. I'm waiting for them to bust out, "Get across the wall!"
The music for the Ice Queendom so far has not been bad.
Yeah, it's been enjoyable. Like, it has that poppy quality to it that you kind of get from Jeff's early work.
Yeah, it's a very Casey vibe without it being Casey.
Yeah. And I'll say this about the opening. The thing that I like about it is that it's using the split screen. That's one thing that Ice Queendom has done so far, is they really make use of the split screen effect that they really dropped after Volume 2.
Only time I can think of is Volume 2, yeah.
Oh shit, this isn't Ice Cream, this is the RWBY hentai. Oh shit. Oh fuck. Oh shit.
This whole thing reminds me of The Matrix.
Yeah, it's a little
like
Matrix-y.
they're jacking in. They communicate via like the payphone.
Oh wow, it actually is The Matrix.
Yeah, like it's
RWBY, you done fucked up. No, you're still in it. Just turn around. Yang has a horse head. Just says, "Yours."
The making Klein 7 robots is actually, I think it's kind of a nice touch.
The visual symbolism is rather nice.
Yeah.
I just wish it wasn't like as point blank in certain ways.
Yeah. Oh god, I do like Whitley as the Bat. It kind of reminds me of Demi Devimon.
Yeah, he is. Oh, he does.
Yeah.
He does. He is great as the Bat. I don't know if you saw the reaction, but I pointed out that his hair...
I got the opening bit, but I didn't get to the rest of it.
Well, I compared it. His hair is basically just a flipped version of Weiss's hair from Volume 7.
Oh, makes sense.
You can see the resemblance.
Okay.
Wait, is that the picture you took inside? Did that carry with you?
Wait.
Or did you just have that from memory? I might have missed that line. As people point out, we miss things when we're making commentary. That happens.
I mean, it would raise interesting questions.
I will presume that she just memorized it and managed to recreate it out on the outside.
I mean, RWBY acts like a dunce, but she does have, like, good perception and good, like, memory. Like, she's shown it in the past. Like, she's remarkably perceptive.
Nega!
Really?
I've never seen a positive Weiss. Okay, that's a good line.
Yeah. It's amazing. She knows Kung Fu.
What is that hourglass thing?
I don't think it matters at this point. Like...
Well, no, it's literally, Blake, you'd be wearing, like, Faunus blackface. That's why I don't want you going in
basically,
there.
yeah. Like, there's a nukes with your name on it.
Always Sunny theme plays. She was not fine.
Oh, that's the other thing. I liked how Weiss's perception of Juniper was that they were all, like, animals in cages.
Yeah.
And also Ruby's right. Hey, aren't those the guys from Team Juniper? Like, all right.
That was
No,
weird. It's like
it was weird, but at the same time, like the shade was like well played.
and the thing is, it damages the perception that that some time has passed. It makes it feel like only like a week or two has passed. At most, because you're supposed to be close friends at this point.
Yeah. Well, Ruby has never really been good on like timelines, so I have no idea when this is taking place. Get to your class. We just need you for a quick 30-second cameo. You know, here's your payment. Now be on your way.
Yeah, we need to remind the people that you're in the show, so that when you show up in the dreamscape again, they'll remember you.
Oh, so Aura can recover like pretty quickly then if hers is back. See, my thing with Aura, with Aura is I always just use the Grim Eclipse rules. Like, you know, you back away for a few seconds, your Aura recharges with no interruption.
I've always like more D&D rules, and that's how the D&D game treats it. Is that Aura recharges per the day?
Yeah, I mean,
So wow, your Aura recharged real quickly in order to send 3 more people into the dreamscape. There, Shion.
I'm at the point now where I just go by Grim Eclipse rules because it's the best judgment I have.
I just go by Aura recharges however the hell it wants.
Yeah,
depending on the writer.
A little more accurate. Yeah.
Oh, time to see full kitty. Yep. Oh, that's right. She had the half bow.
She only imagines you with one ear?
Wait, has Weiss seen Bumblebee?
No.
Oh, so this was a complaint. They didn't really establish why Weiss would think this about Crescent
like
Rose.
why...
It's funny, I like it, but it's like, why does she think it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh wow, she's one ear, and then claws for hands.
She also has a tail, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, so we're really going all in on the. I could do that in the real world too.
Oh, it got stronger. They can do that normally.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Gamble Shroud kind of shot halfway across the world there for a little bit. 12. Okay.
12枚.
Well, then you could just do the kick.
Well, I don't know, because she had 1 coin left at the end of the last episode, so maybe she still needs it in order to...
Well, I think that 1 is how she got out of the dream.
Yeah, but I thought it was instigated by...
Yeah, never mind. I just realized that they woke her up by, like, saying, wake up.
Maybe you do still need 1 coin in order to wake up, but, like, Shion can initiate it manually if necessary, as long as you have that coin.
Maybe. Wait, so is the dream just on repeat? The dream's on repeat.
That's a good question. Yeah. It turns out he's just one of those straight performers.
I was right.
Weiss no chichiwayo. He's kind of a jerk.
No idea.
How do you know he's kind of a jerk? He's a statue.
It looks, I guess. Also, the whole 3-wall thing they got on here is weirdly Attack on Titan-esque.
Yeah, that's Fatman commented that last time.
Oh, okay. Again, I didn't get to the whole reaction.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Yeah.
Another train has been attacked.
I'm pretty sure we had this whole conversation. Yeah, they had this whole conversation last time.
Are we just repeating this?
It looks like the dream just goes on repeat. Oh, this part's new.
See, last time I commented that the dream world is really unimaginative. It's not like there's not a lot of dream-like attributes to it. There's not a lot of bizarre like geometry going on.
There's no hallway scene where the hallway's like rotating while they're fighting. Yeah,
like there hasn't been yet. There's still room for it.
Oh yeah,
later.
absolutely.
I still have no clue what to do. Yeah. Whoa!
What the hell?
What was that?
Some weird like splice effect it looked like.
Wait, is that Cinder?
I don't know.
That silhouette looked like Cinder.
The hair definitely looked reminiscent.
Also, someone's vacuuming outside. God damn it. Big Nicholas!
It's so weird they just shout that at random.
There's a theory with that.
Like it's no like the X-Nauts in Paper Mario 2 where they do like the hand cross thing. Like it's no that.
Well, I was gonna say, like, it sounds a lot similar if you were to say, "Hail, Nicholas." Wait,
no.
Pyrrha? Pyrrha singing?
No.
Oh. The animation for this is a little weird, but
a little awkward.
I'm digging the music.
I mean, yeah, it's a nice version of Mirror Mirror, but why is Pyrrha singing it?
Okay, no, actually, I like this. Is she's seeing herself in Pyrrha?
Oh. I was trying to figure out what the symbolism here was. Yeah.
Wait, Ren has a hat?
I do think Nora looks adorable in that outfit.
Nora's design is adorable.
Yeah.
I was waiting for them to join in on chorus going, meow, 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 meow. Now go into awkward CGI idle mode. She sounds younger, but
yeah,
she does sound like Pyrrha. I can actually hear like there's the underpinnings of Pyrrha's voice in there, which I think is... They got a good voice actress for Pyrrha. Mm-hmm. It sounds a little bit younger, but I like it.
It really is Volume 1. All the background characters are just shadow people.
Yeah, they're using it very effectively.
Yeah.
I just wanted to eat one. You are worthless defense sentries. Whoa.
Right here.
Okay, there's some dream stuff I'm fine with.
Oh, it is Weiss's Volume 7 here.
Yeah.
Now that I get a look at it, yeah.
Just as a curly Q instead of a baguette. Wait, why were they using the coin there?
To set up a marker? So now I guess they can just...
Okay, so basically they're saying...
Maybe it's like the hallway from the Matrix movies, like that big white hallway with like
all
the doors.
They're setting up a fast travel system.
Yeah.
Okay. Because Ruby's doors stayed behind, which I guess retroactively means that she didn't waste a coin last episode, though it was still kind of annoying.
Yeah. Tell me anything? What about everything?
Tell you anything? Well, the temperature is a cool 32 degrees Fahrenheit, and the skies are clear, save for a purple storm coming in from the east in about 3 hours.
But the Backstreet Boys are getting back together again.
Are they really?
Backstreet's back.
That was a joke, hon. Actually, they might be. I don't know. They were doing a reunion tour before COVID hit.
I know. That's why
I forgot that was the whole Game Grumps thing.
Yeah, Game Grumps.
We're missing a lot. So in the dream, we're supposed to be locked up somewhere. Okay.
No, the alarm's sounding again. It's like mixing Matrix with Inception. Wow. Inception. There we go. I feel like it came out weird both those times.
But why wouldn't Blake be in here?
I don't... Well, maybe... I mean... Because
they
they're not I guess they're not mentioning Blake.
Well, they said that every Ruby, Yang, Juniper, they're all in Weiss's mind.
Yeah.
And because of that, they're recognized as non-intruders, or they're partially that way.
Right.
But, like, if Blake isn't in there...
The girl in black they're referring to her as. So they've mentioned it before.
Has to be.
Yeah. Alright, so this is Klein number 5?
Drowsy Klein.
Yeah.
Oh, Sleepy, okay. Are Sleepy and Drowsy the same person? Is Drowsy even a guy? Am I wrong?
Sleepy was only... There's only one dwarf named Sleepy, so... We're gonna have to go back.
Your
and
eyes are
remember.
purple. You should probably, like, put some eye drops in.
Hey, it's their room from Beacon.
How did you hear that?
I know. Wait, wasn't it actually like she was awake during that conversation? I thought they showed that before.
Did they in episode...
I thought they did. I remember something like that.
Why are you
now?
sleeping?
Clearly he's a light sleeper. Sorry, he's a light sleeper.
What's that Mickey meme? It's an important secret that we'll save for later.
How did you get in? What door? Wow. Whose idea was it to make Sleepy Klein the guard?
Maybe that's how little she thinks of Ruby and Yang. They never try to escape. Just freaking lazy.
It's really nifty those things just pop up. Dude, I had like 20 mushrooms.
They were like, sauteed. You sauteed your psychedelic mushrooms? Yeah. If we don't have Ruby riding a horse, that'll be disappointing.
Yeah.
Given this, at least they're using the outfits the girls have. That's something that the main show doesn't do.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, Ruby has a zipper and pocket on her strap.
Like, oh my god, they're actually dressed for winter.
I mean, stupidly dressed for winter, but dressed for winter.
At least they tried.
They're probably still relatively warm.
Yeah.
You're approaching me?
How long were you waiting here before we showed up?
Wait, that was it?
Oh, that's it? Okay.
You know, I'm curious.
Yeah.
Did we even need the first episode? Did we need episode 4?
You mean episode 1 or episode 4?
Episode 4.
Yeah, like that. I was actually thinking that too. Like, we're just repeating episode 4 again. So why didn't we just
there's
start
some
with
slight
this?
changes in there. I mean, obviously you have Yang and Blake there, but like we're learning
the conversation in Weiss's dining room was almost beat for beat. The train was exactly the same.
Oh, there's a really cute Nora pic at the end. Oh,
yeah, they showed artwork at the end of the last episode too.
Yeah, of really emaciated Weiss, which I learned later. That's just the style of the artist. He just draws very emaciated figures, but like that's typically with very surrealist type of art. There's a really good Madoka art he drew that's really kind of unnerving, but when it's a physical character, like not I just find it looks weird. But this Nora art here looks so cute. She's so
I'm not
fluffy.
there quite yet. I still got 30 seconds on mine.
Oh yeah, I just skipped ahead.
I just went to watch the ending because I think I kind of skipped it last time.
So going through this, it really doesn't feel like there's any much like you could have easily explained the coins.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that the big difference is
that is
that
a cute Nora picture. Okay.
RWBY really made use of the coins in in episode 4.
Yeah, she was like chucking them like they were candy.
Yeah, and I appreciate the idea of you send in one person to scout. That makes logical sense. But like from a storytelling perspective, you could have even made this even tighter.
Yeah. Now sorry, go. Keep going.
Well, I was going to say, considering that Gen Urobuchi said, I can do this in 8 episodes, we are now on episode 5 of 12. So that means, logically, there are 7 more episodes after this. I'm imagining this is actually where he wanted to start.
Yeah. Now, I forget, did they show... When they did Jean's Nightmare before, did they show the coins then? I mean, I know it went by really fast, but I don't remember if they did.
No, they didn't.
They didn't. Okay.
Then,
yeah, an explanation of the coins would have been nice.
That was one of the things that I questioned in episode 3 or 4, 2 or 3 when that happened. I think it was...
Yeah.
It was 3.
It was a while ago. Like, I can't remember.
Yeah.
Remember what was said.
Like my biggest question was like, how are they making phone calls to Shion outside of the dream?
Yeah. I mean, the scrolls apparently communicate like again, it's this weird hybrid of Matrix and Inception that's going on in this dream world.
And one of the things that's really bothering me is that Shion's semblance here is not just very weird. It's very intricate. It's a very intricate semblance. It's not just something basic like if you take damage, you get stronger. If you get hit by lightning, you get stronger. If you speed, you can run super fast. You can create shadow clones. A lot of these abilities have they're very broad in what they encompass, and they're not very fine unless you really get them down to a very fine level. Meanwhile, with Shion, it's literally like you can dive into people's dreams, which isn't an inherently useful tool. You can dive into people's dreams, but only send other people in. We don't know if Shion can go in.
It doesn't seem like it.
You can create coins in those dreams that can alter the dream and create passageways, even though one of the inherent natures of a dream, and by any natural understanding, is that dreams shift and change constantly, so that ability is already called into question, unless the nightmares are consistently designed like the dream stays stagnant, which it appears to be the case, but even then, so your abilities are only specifically useful when a nightmare is involved. I know people don't like me getting pedantic about this, but like the abilities of Shion and how Shion learned how to use them, if you just think about them for 5 minutes, make no sense.
There's an absolute lot to this power. I mean, it's kind of clear why this is the only person who can do this kind of ability, but like the training for this must have been like
how?
And
I understand they're 25, 35 years old. I hear there are people in the comments that were like, oh, it makes sense they would have mastered it by then. And it's not the focus of the story that they've learned this power. It's just that they have this power. It's just, it makes you question the stability of the world building. And again, this is less about Ice Queendom and more about RWBY as a whole property, that they have this problem. Yeah,
definitely. I mean, lack of any kind of definition to any of their rules has been a staple forever. Let's see. Yeah, there's. I mean, okay. So the Pyrrha scene. I mean, I've been wondering why Pyrrha. I mean, okay, I'm not really wondering why Pyrrha was in there because she thought Weiss thinks higher of Pyrrha than she does any of the other Juniper members, but then Pyrrha's taking Weiss's place as the singer of Mirror Mirror, which I mean, the songs do thematically work out.
I like it actually a lot because people were complaining, wow, Pyrrha's dress is literally just Weiss's dress from Volume 4, but with a red color coding. And I was like, I think it looks fine. And then we get here and it's like, oh, no, it's thematically appropriate. Literally, she is just shoving Pyrrha into her place, into her own shoes.
Because she sees her as similar.
Yeah, she sees similar results, and that's one thing I will give this episode. I actually really liked this scene in particular.
It was it was jarring, but once I got used to it, I was like, okay, this is good.
Yeah, it's one of those like. This is one of those times where they're starting to really play with the dream stuff. Aside from just having Team Juniper meow, which we didn't get to hear again. I'm disappointed by that.
No, they went serious with the cage stuff this time around.
I'm telling you, singing in chorus with meow meow for meow 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 would have been great.
Yeah.
Did we know that Ren was going to have that hat?
I don't recall him having a hat when I watched the episode this morning.
Yeah, that's interesting and new.
Yeah. Well, they weren't even dressed in their winter garb. I don't recall. I think they were just in their regular outfits.
They might have been.
Yeah. So I don't know what they were. I don't know why they were in winter garb this time around.
I got teleporting through a frozen fountain. That was pretty cool. One thing I will point that I'm still very much disappointed by the voice acting. Like the voice actors are doing fine. Clarification: the voice direction I don't like.
Okay.
Because it's a lot of the sugoi. It's like that. Like when Yang says it like that instead of sugoi. Like I don't get the energy of Yang from Yang. I don't get the. I mean, again, Blake has been relatively untouched, but that's because Blake is a relatively quiet character, so she doesn't have as much to open her mouth and ruin herself. But RWBY and Yang, who are the bubbly parts of Team RWBY, feel really underwhelming in terms of their
reserved. And it's not like Sayori Hayami can't do bubbly. Like that girl could probably do anything she set her mind to. She's one of the best talents in Japan, and she can definitely play bombastic outward characters. So I don't know why they scaled her back for this one.
I'm wondering if this has something to do with Toe's writing, because the only experience I have personally with Toe's writing is Psycho-Pass Season 2.
Yeah.
The problem with that, like, if that's somehow the writing bleeding into things, is that Psycho-Pass already was a rather grounded and muted series. There wasn't a lot of, like, sugoi overreaction type. Like, there wasn't a lot of over-the-top performances. There wasn't a lot of there wasn't a Genki girl, for example. It was just a lot of, like, characters talking very, very like a professional. So season 2 rolls around, I couldn't tell if there was any difference in the performances. The writing itself took a little bit of a dip, but the performances were fine. So I'm wondering if like maybe there's an effect from Toe's writing, or if it's the voice director just not quite grasping the characters. And I have heard unconfirmed rumor, that Rooster Teeth has been having trouble adapting translating the issue. Part of that rumor is that they thought they would just be able to reuse the scripts from Volume 1 for the recaps of 1 through 3. Yeah. And that kind of makes me feel like that rumor is false.
Well, so I saw... I was at RTX, and I saw the English dub for episode 1. Actually, I was like the only YouTuber that showed up for that. I'm quite proud of that. So I heard it, and it is definitely not a word-for-word translation of what we've seen before. So I I guess like the Dust Shop was pretty close, but yeah, no, it's definitely not the exact same.
And I saw some clips from it where it basically confirmed my fears. Now, you might have a different take on this, but it confirmed my fears that the lower energy performances that we're seeing in the Japanese dub are leading to lower energy performances in the English dub.
Let's see. Yang was definitely a lot quieter. RWBY, I can't recall off the top of my head. I do know they did show us a sneak peek of the episode 2 dub, and Weiss definitely felt like held back. Like the part it was the scene where she's talking about, we'll do our nails and we'll talk about cute boy, like that whole bit.
Yeah.
And I just remember the in volume 1 when she was like, "Oh my god," like really peppy with it. And this time she was just like, "Oh yeah," talking normally about it. It's definitely a huge difference.
I think I saw that where it's like in the original, it's like, "Oh yeah, we'll do our nails, talk about cute boys," and like it's very just dripping with sarcasm.
And we can paint our nails and try on clothes and talk about cute boys like tall, blonde, and scraggly over there.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, in the dub of Ice Queendom, it's like, "Oh, we can do our nails and talk about cute boys," and it sounds a little more like that's actually suggesting these things.
That's actually exactly what it sounded like.
That concern so far has not been alleviated. I'm still thoroughly convinced that these are not the RWBY girls. I understand that there's a lot of new viewers coming into Ice Queendom that haven't watched RWBY, but this is supposed to be canon-adjacent, which means they're really trying hard not to say it's a side story. The problem is, if they said it was a side story, these problems go away. These problems go away because they are not bound by Canon RWBY. But because of their sketchy language on it, they're still bound by Canon RWBY, and these characters feel out of character.
I mean, it's that whole it's canon until it's not thing that they talked about when the mangas were coming out. Like, he's like, "Oh, it's canon until it gets to a point where it deviates from what we're saying, and then it's not canon anymore." It's like, well, you can't have your cake and eat it too, guys. Either it works within the canon or it doesn't, and it's its own side thing.
Yeah, and that's really what is one of the things siphoning on this series. Like, I would have less of a problem if they hadn't had the recap, if they had just done a beginning somewhere else, like presuming that volume 1 had happened and just established the crew in the school or out doing their regular life things, or maybe on a school break or something. You could have done anything and reestablished these characters with just scenes of them interacting and learning about one another, and
fill in that gap between volumes 1 and 2 that
everyone wants
utterly
to see
failed to do.
It's like so it's a lot of those problems are still cropping up, and that's the problem. I think I actually like this episode more than I liked the last one.
Mm-hmm. I enjoyed it. Of course, I essentially just watched 4 and 5 back to back, so it was kind of like it was a big deja vu thing. But having Yang and Blake a part of it was definitely better. Although, otherwise I don't feel like we learned a whole lot this time around. We didn't really learn much else that we didn't learn last episode.
We did learn about Negaweiss.
Negaweiss, yeah.
Negaweiss. I can't say that with a straight face.
I'm just reminded of the Negachin from Fairly Odd Parents.
It is me, the Negachin!
I always remember that because it has like my all-time favorite Fairly Odd Parents line, where it's like, "You brought him here too? Well, you said when you said made the wish, you said we, and we can mean a lot of things. We three, we the people, or my personal favorite, we." That scene has lived rent-free in my head for the past 20 years, 10, 15 years, something like that.
The ones I remember from that were, "I am the bronze kneecap."
Yes.
I remember him. And then I also remember, "You can always find me in comics. And me, and me, and me,
yes.
and me. Not me, I got canceled."
Yeah, I remember that.
But yeah, so you got that going on. Got basically the dream repeating. They're still not... Again, they're doing a little bit of crazy dream stuff. Again, walking through things. You have Pyrrha standing in for Weiss. But, they're not pushing it. The benefit to this episode that I liked, they didn't have any combat. They were smart enough not to have combat because they didn't need it. It's all set up. Last episode, I thought the combat was lackluster.
The combat was okay. What I took away from that was that killer song.
The song was dope.
The song was dope. The action was okay.
Yeah.
Nothing spectacular.
Instead of action, this episode had pure singing, which had weird lip flaps.
Yeah, I was going to comment on that. Like, it was definitely not in sync.
Do you think maybe there's a Japanese version of the song that they went with first, and that's why it's animated the way it was?
Oh, maybe.
I mean, I'm just trying to think of, like, a reason why. I mean, it's very possible the animators just aren't used to, like, English diction, which you do see occasionally.
Yeah.
English and Japanese have much different flows.
Yeah.
So there's that. Is there anything else? I'm trying to think. I love Blake's version of stealth is literally like, hey, I'll be a distraction and we can slip in. And it's like, but like that still causes the problem of alerting the enemy that we're here.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, the enemy then disappears, so I guess, and apparently these robots were not programmed for intelligence, so they still almost got away with it. The problem is you can't really fool a bat that can, like, has supersonic hearing and can probably hear your footsteps landing in another location.
Does Shion have a little ram's head on the bottom of his boot? A little ram horn?
I was not paying attention to his boot, unfortunately.
Yeah, it was when he was doing the sleepy.
God. It's like Shion's, it's got like the appearance of Maggie Lou from Tales of Berseria with the personality of Reyna from Data Live. And it's a weird combination of the two.
Yeah. Also, wow, sleeping on the job, Shion. That's brilliant. You know, it's not like it's a life or death situation. I guess you're awake enough, but like, if this follows Inception rules, where 5 minutes outside is an hour inside, God help you if someone needs help.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's basically Inception rules with Matrix like technology, or not technology, like gimmicks. Like, you got the jacking and jacking out, you got the phone communication, like the doorways that can teleport you. Like, all that stuff is Matrix stuff, but then the actual, like, rules of the world seem very Inception-based.
Yeah. So, do you have anything else you would like to add?
The one thing I can say, and I think I said it at the end of the last time I was on too, and I'll say it a few more times, but the one thing Ice Queendom has going for it that I cannot deny, it at least feels like Team RWBY's story.
Yes, that is fair. It doesn't feel like they're...
It's about them. Like, even Shion, as much as we always go, oh god, another new character, even Shion knows his place, and like, my place is as the support character. I am not the main character of this journey. That goes to you four. They are at least aware enough to know that just because you have a new character doesn't mean they have to be in the spotlight 24/7.
For the non-RWBY fans who are joining us for the first time for Ice Queendom, please do know that Team RWBY is rarely the center stage for their own show. Yeah. It is very annoying. Very annoying.
And Ice Queendom, for whatever faults it have, it doesn't have that problem. The story is very squarely on Team RWBY. And I appreciate that.
Very much appreciated. And I think that's one of the reasons I do appreciate this episode, is that it's Team RWBY acting as Team RWBY. We actually don't seem to get that very often. I'm trying to think of like the number of times we've seen Team RWBY functioning as a holistic
you've got
unit.
RWBY and Blake interactions. You know, you got RWBY and Yang interactions. You got Weiss and Blake interactions. Weiss and Yang interactions. Like, the team is talking to each other.
We haven't seen... Literally, there is a joke on the commentary in Volume 8 how RWBY and Blake haven't had a solo scene together since Volume 1, and even that one in Volume 1 is arguably not a solo scene. It's literally a group scene.
Yeah, because Yang was in on that conversation as well.
And then later Weiss.
Yeah. So yeah, like, it's... Now we actually have the characters talking as if they're friends.
Yeah,
which it doesn't sound like much, but when you've sat through 8 years of them not doing that...
Did Blake's bow change direction in one scene? 1 minute. What side is her bow on? You find a random scene. Tell me which side the bow is on.
Let me think. Let's see. Because she's facing us, so... The right half is the bow, and the left half is the ear.
Then explain to me this at timecode... Yes. At timecode... 933, also known as -1416. Here, I got a screen cap. Explain this.
Oh, hold on, I'm gonna go back. The bow was another thing where, like, at first I was not too sure about it, but the more I got in the episode, the more used to it I got.
Yeah, I'm still not a big fan of these designs overall, but like they're framed through like Weiss's observations of them.
Right.
So it's a little more forgivable. Maybe Weiss just has really shit taste in fashion.
I mean, have you seen her Volume 7 outfit?
Fair.
She looks like she's trying out for Ren Fair.
Again, I reiterate, she putting a baguette in her hair was a bold choice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with this said, my biggest thing with the episode itself, like my biggest issue with the episode itself, probably could be that it should have been more or less the starting episode for this arc, as opposed to the last episode. I think this and the last episode should have been rolled into one episode. I think you could have easily done that, made it a smooth, even smoother. You could really cut down the amount of time you needed. I understand why they did it, I think, because you probably just needed that 4th episode to kind of fill out the 12-episode season. But, altogether, the episode itself doesn't have big problems. Again, it continues the trend so far since episode 4 that the biggest problems are not of Ice Queen's fault, except for episodes 1 through 3. The recaps of it. Yeah. Which, again, even the recaps' faults, a lot of them stem back to RWBY. So it's like... There's a lot that RWBY Ice Queendom unfortunately just gets packed on with.
That's a lot of even RWBY itself, like how much of Volume 6 through 6, 7, and 8 have been influenced solely on how awful Volume 5 was.
Yep.
Like even itself is not safe from itself.
It's a frustrating time to be a RWBY fan.
Yeah, it is.
And I guess if you're getting into this fandom, good luck.
You'll need it.
You'll need it. All right. Well, thank you all so much for joining us. We hope you had a fun time with our little silly discussions and talks about things and our random diatribes about nothing significant. I'm kidding. If you would like to support the channel, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and ring that bell so you get notifications of all new content like this whenever it comes out. And if you want to go the extra step further, I do have a Patreon where you can donate $1 or more to get access to the Team Frostbite Discord server, where me, Tom, Fatman Falling, Dashy Lee, and a whole host of other people, such as the Sketchy Huntsman, in the RWBY community are regularly active and hang out for things such as Bad Fanfiction Night, which I host every weekend, usually Friday night at 10 p.m. Additionally, Tom, you have a Patreon, do you not?
I do have a Patreon. I haven't updated it in forever, but I do still have it.
And you also have a book that just came out.
So Kent is available in ebook, and you can also get physical copies are currently available on demand through Barnes & Noble. In order to get them on bookshelves, though, I have to do a book signing event. I actually went to my nearest Barnes & Noble and asked, hey, what do I have to do? And like, oh, well, we'll give you a chance to do a book signing. So I got to figure out how I'm doing that first. Once that's done, working through that, I'm also actually in talks with like an indie bookstore about getting my book on their shelves as well. So we're trying to make things happen with it.
Alrighty, well, go support Tom. Give him some love.
Yeah.
And I think that is about it.
Yep.
Alrighty. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll catch you all on the flip side.
Bye-bye.
Big Nicholas!